welcome to the Property Mindset podcast, where I'm Emma Howitt, mentor, investor, and your guide to building wealth, freedom, and personal transformation through property. Property isn't just about bricks and mortar, it's about building a life you truly desire. In this space, we don't just talk about strategy, we dive deeply into mindset, something I found is often missing in other industries, but has been an absolute game changer for me in professional property circles. So today we are talking about becoming the most valuable person and building your network. What does that mean? Well, let's wait and see. So let's turn your dreams into actions and actions into success. So becoming the most valuable person, what on earth is that, Emma? What does that mean? I think for me, the most important thing to remember is that you are your greatest asset. Did you hear that? You are your greatest asset. And obviously in property, your greatest return comes from investing in yourself. So you may have bought a course, you may have spent time listening to videos, you obviously listening to this podcast. These are all ways that you have invested in yourself. Now, whether it's in your mindset, your habits, and your abilities to connect with the right people, this is how you can become an incredible asset to yourself. Now, of course, it's not just about you. It's also about your network. And once you start with your network, that becomes the real true multiplier. The people around you can seriously elevate you, or equally, they can seriously hold you back. Who are you spending your time with? So key. So how can you be your own leader? So obviously self-leadership is so important. And quite often we feel like we are the support act in the movie of our lives, but we have to be that lead role. How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to be the lead role in your own movie of your life? So what might property leadership look like? So key number one is take full responsibility. No, that can't be true, Emma. It all happens to me. It's not my fault. Horrible tenants. Oh, I got a bad valuation. All of these things. Whatever happens, we've just got to take our own responsibility. We have to have it for us. We have to know that we can make a change and we are in control, as much as it seems like we are out of control. And we have to invest in our growth. And again, whether that's financially, whether that's through time, people we hang out with, because we have to create our opportunities. It's not going to wait for us. We have to be there. And as we know, often the best deals, the best opportunities, the best situations comes from those who are most prepared. Okay, I don't believe in luck at all. People say, oh, I was really lucky. I look at them and I think it's like the iceberg, isn't it? There's only a little bit on the top and then there's a massive amount of work underneath. Or you've got the swan swimming along, looking very serene, but underneath the legs are really thrashing to get them through the water quickly. And that's what it's like. We have to be prepared. And it's mentally and physically that we have to push ourselves. So leadership absolutely starts with you. And John C. Maxwell said, you can't lead others until you can lead yourself. Oh, stop that, Emma. It's true, though. You can't lead others until you lead yourself. So remember, we hear it bandied around all the time, don't we? Your network is your net worth. But sometimes you have to think a little bit deeper than that. there are so many things that impact who you spend your time with. And you could go perhaps to the local pub and the same people are there and have been there for 30 years. Lovely people. I'm not judging. They've had incredible lives. It's great. They share their stories, but you are the average of the 5 people that you spend time with. So what are your 5 closest friends or 5 closest people that you spend your time with? You're going to be the average of that. So if you've got people that are not achieving the things that you want to achieve, I'm not saying get rid of all your friends, but just think purposefully, who do I want to spend more time with? I mean, what can a network give you? It can give you perhaps off-market deals, perhaps a JV partner. And quite a lot of the time, it's actually inspiration, isn't it? It's those moments when you're like, oh, I just want to bang my head against a wall. I'm not quite sure how to go along. And then somebody tells their story of what they're doing. You know what? I can do that too. And it holds you accountable. There's nothing more embarrassing, is there, than say a weekly call or a monthly networking event where you rock up and you say, yeah, this month I'm going to do this. I'm going to offer on this many properties and I'm going to have completed, this renovation. And then next month they're like, oh, let me see the photos of the renovation. And you're like, oh no, it's, I just didn't quite get around to ordering the equipment or whatever. So accountability is also really, really huge. And the fastest way to build meaningful connections is to really help first. So sort of ask yourself, well, what does this person need? How can I support them? And one of the things that had a enormous impact on my life and the value of my life actually is something called the impression of increase. And there's so many teachings of this, but it basically comes from Wallace D. Wattles' classic book, The Science of Getting Rich. If you haven't read it, please go and read it. It's incredibly powerful. And basically, it's all about emphasizing that we should leave every person we meet with a feeling that they're better off. Being with us has made a positive impact on them. And this principle is really about how others can feel uplifted, valued, and perhaps inspired to grow. I mean, think of that. To have that impact on another human being is just huge. And one of the things that Bob Proctor always talks about is he says, do you know that the one thing every human being on the planet wants is increase? Isn't this true? We want more, don't we? We want more happiness, more money, more friends, more life, more food, more healthy food. We want more of everything. And this is nature, isn't it? We are spiritual beings. And you can help everyone enjoy more of life by leaving them with the impression of increase. Now, it doesn't really matter how you do it. You just have to make them feel better because you were there. And Bob Proctor's quote is, always leave others with the impression of increase. The more you give, the more you will get. Very powerful. So what can we do? It's kind of like, oh, I've just met this person. They're looking a bit unhappy, not particularly interested in me. What can I do? I mean, perhaps give genuine, sincere compliments. Like if I see somebody who looks great, I'll tell them, wow, you look really great today. Have you had a new haircut? But it's got to be genuine and sincere. Don't start making things up. Offer to help. Perhaps just words of encouragement can make such a big difference. Perhaps tip somebody. Have you ever been to a coffee shop and let's say the coffee and a bun, I don't know, costs you £7.50. Tip £7.50. and look at that person. Look how you may have changed something really incredible for them. And be fully present. Now, we're all like, oh, yeah. And this is something I have to be so careful of. Somebody is talking to me and I'm already ready to respond. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you basically stop listening, don't you? The sort of half of what they've said, because you've already know what you need to say in response. Be fully present. Quiet your responses down and listen to them. And really listen. Don't just listen to the superficial words that are coming out. Try and dig deeper into what they're really trying to say to you. Being fully present is something that is absolutely priceless in a relationship. Try that with your kids, with your parents, with your friends. But especially at networking events, be fully present when somebody is talking to you. And that connection will grow massively. Perhaps you can share opportunities, introductions. I love doing introductions. I know I've got a really great network of people, and I've got people that I know do fantastic jobs, do amazing things for people. And then I know people who really need those services. And I love introducing people. Obviously, everyone has to do their due diligence on each other. Not everyone gets on. That's perfectly fine. But I love that. Like, I think, wow, you are doing an amazing job. I want to tell lots of other people about you. And that brings me joy as well. They come back and say, oh, wow, I worked with that person. They were so amazing. Such a great win. But overall, you've got to leave people feeling better. And I always say, remember, we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them appropriately. People love talking about themselves. Let them. How to really apply it. So as we say, the main key thing is to focus on the other person. And really think about this. Express true belief in their potential. Have you ever think of a time where somebody's said to you, wow, you can do that. I remember pretty early on in my property journey, somebody who I highly respected said, I think you'd be a really great mentor. I literally nearly fell off my chair. What do you mean? Imposter syndrome came out. I don't know anything. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I absolutely love helping people. But that person had belief in my potential. And sometimes somebody else needs to have that belief in us for us to believe it. So think about that. And then just practice this consistently. Do it every day. Everyone that you meet. It doesn't have to be at a networking event. It can be, as I say, at the coffee shop. It can be your builders, whomever it is that you are surrounded by. So when we're thinking about our network and understanding how we're going to help others, there is something that may crop up. Who's got a bit of imposter syndrome in their property journey? Hands up. This is totally normal. Even the top people have imposter syndrome. You might be thinking, oh, I'm not experienced enough. And that can be at the beginning of your journey, or equally when you're really far along your property journey, you might be doing something new, something bigger, something different. But remember, the truth is everyone starts somewhere. Don't let that negative thought impact the way you behave, the way you act, the way you want to grow your property journey. You might have an imposter thought of, well, what can I offer? I mean, what have I got? I hear this a lot. People are like starting out, oh, what can I offer? But quite often they've got incredible backgrounds. They might be really expert in marketing. They might have been in construction. Quite a lot of people have got real detailed experience in property related stuff. I started with absolutely nothing. I knew nothing about property, didn't really have any money. What can I offer? I definitely had skills. I worked in a corporate world. I had lots of knowledge. You can even just offer your perspective on something. You've always got something to offer. How about that imposter thought, everyone else is so much more successful than me. That's why you're here. You're here to learn. Don't let that stop you. Because we all have it, guys. We've all got imposter syndrome. Okay. We all have that. Oh, I'm not quite good enough. But you just got to get past it. How can we get past it? Just show up regularly. Okay. Ask great questions. Remember, 2 ears and 1 mouth. And focus on building relationships. You don't have to prove yourself. Remember, just listen and ask great questions. People will love that and they'll remember you. Notice the people that you really listen to, they remember you. They don't necessarily remember why, but they'll be like, oh, that person was really lovely because you showed a genuine interest in who they were. And do remember that your life and your life experience is valuable. And as Dale Carnegie said, action breeds confidence. Inaction breeds doubt. So if you are in any way feeling overwhelmed, getting this imposter syndrome, not quite sure where to go, take action. I mean, that is one of the things I do when I'm talking to people about whether they would like to work with me having mentorship. The one thing I say at the end, I'm not a hard sale. Like if they want to work with me, this is how it works. And I, I love working with them. But the one thing I do say is you've got to make a decision. Like it makes no difference to me if you work with me or not. I'd love to help you, but you've got to make a decision because this is one of the things that's so important in your mindset, in getting things done, is taking action, making that decision. So in property, people can seriously open doors for you. Everyone talks about the mecca, don't they, of off-market deals. And this actually happens through creating trusted relationships. Joint ventures, they don't just happen in a spreadsheet, do they? They happen over coffee. Support, accountability, and speed all come from the right people. Having those relationships, filling that pot up of good brownie points, so to speak. If somebody thinks of you, oh yeah, they do so much for me, they make me feel so good, they're going to want to do things in return. But we mustn't fall into the negativity trap. Have you ever heard people say things like, oh, there's no good deals around? Oh, where are all these deals hidden? If you're only thinking that there's lack, that's what you're going to get. You're only going to see the lack of deals. But if you just know that there is so many deals out there, and there truly are, there are so many deals out there, no matter the market, there's always a great deal. And as Tony Robbins said, where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus on the good stuff. Focus on knowing that there's deals out there for you and be open to a path, maybe diverging in different directions. I always talk about a route to success or a route to your goal is like a babbling brook, is like a small stream. You can see the river, the water, can't you? Bubbling down, but there's always a stone in the way. And the water, what does it do? Finds a way around it. Quite gently. It doesn't jump up and down and scream, oh, I can't get this. It just goes, you know what? I'm just going to gently find a way around. And it sometimes literally shifts earth to get around that blockage. So for you, think differently. Maybe you found an amazing deal and you want to do a buy, refurbish, refinance, but actually an outright purchase is not the right way. Maybe it's an assisted sale. Maybe it's a lease option. Maybe you'll have to flip it in the end. Maybe you could partner with the vendor. There's so many options. Really keep that open mind. So really think about what we've talked about. Where am I taking full responsibility or am I still blaming? Listen to yourself. We do it all the time. Am I blaming others for what's happening to me? Can I lead myself better? What can I do? How can I leave people with the impression of increase? Please try this, guys. Honestly, you will be so rewarded and life will start changing dramatically when you do that. And think about who is in my network that I could perhaps reach out to, who I could help. What can I do? Clarity comes through reflection. Confidence comes through action. So how did you find that? Are you going to become your most valuable person? And what are you going to do to build your network to make a difference? Because remember, property success isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. And when you combine a strong strategy with an unstoppable mindset, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So do reflect on today's episode. We covered an awful lot, but what's the one thing you are going to take from it this week and actually put it into action and get you closer to your property goal? And of course, as always, if you know someone who's struggling on their property journey, please share this episode. It absolutely could be something that changes their lives and something that they really need. And remember, the more people that we help, then the greater our own wealth in every sense of the word. And growing this community means growing the potential we all have to succeed. And as always, your mindset is your greatest property. Keep building it.